AmaZulu FC will be the home side, and of course Orlando Pirates are the away side for this fixture. Coach José Riveiro joins us to preview that fixture. Coach, maybe just your thoughts heading into that one. Playing away, but you seem to enjoy playing in Durban since you got on the job. What are your thoughts heading into that?
Good afternoon. Same thoughts. Try to express after the draw. It's going to be a complicated one at that stage of the competition. Each and every team wants to do their best to find, in our case, find ourselves in the last matches one more time. AmaZulu is a team that we do respect a lot. Experienced players that prove already many times that they are excellent players with a good level, competitive away game. There's all the conditions to understand that it's not going to be a walk in the park for us, but at the same time, we're comfortable in those scenarios. We used to show our best version in that kind of games, that type of game. So we have 1 week to prepare the game. We are in a good space, and we're looking for the kickoff to try to play our football one more time.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take questions from the floor now. Just by show of hands, I'll take the first one. Do we have any questions, or should we just end the press here? Coach, they are answered. They got all the answers. Is that a hand, Mr. Man?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Who was here before me?
It was Coach Gavin.
We are finished, Coach. We are finished.
Yes. Coach, it's not every day you see two Spanish coaches in the PSL forum face each other. I just would like to find in terms of how in the Spanish FA has been the kind of influence in terms of number of coaches going outside the country, especially here in Africa. I think there's not been a lot, and maybe the emphasis on producing more coaches who will go outside. And I'm asking this question because we've seen previously how the KNVB in the Dutch, they will produce more coaches to come and coach in the continents like Africa.
I don't know. I think we are about more than 3,000 UEFA Pro licensed coaches in Spain. That's the only thing you need to have the possibility to coach abroad. Obviously, there's no space for everyone. This amount of, in theory, professional coaches or people who is dedicating their lives to the coaching in football. Language is also an obstacle. I did manage to find a way to communicate with you guys, even though but in the end, it's a challenge to go abroad. You need to really be convinced about that you can do it, that you can convince people in a different country to play the way you want to play, or you think that is the best way to play. And we are a football country, obviously. We love football. Everybody is a football fan in Spain, basically. So yeah, I think that I mentioned this already in one of the press conferences, the World Cup that we managed to get here in South Africa, plus the European tournaments. I think it opened the door for all of us to look even more attractive as a product, let's say, period of Spanish football succeeding in international tournaments was a clear, boost for all of us, for the football players and for the coaches as well. And, well, then it's about us to try to show that we have the capacity to do it. And if you have a look of the amount of coaches from Spain that are working abroad, I think it's a remarkable number right now. So it's a good thing.
Alright, next question from me.
Coach, just in keeping with speaking about Spanish coaches, Spanish players, I've always wanted to ask you this, and perhaps now's the opportunity. Has it ever been crossed your mind to bring in some of the players you had worked in previous clubs, maybe in Finland, in Spain? Was that ever a possibility? I know usually when coaches go to certain clubs, they have their tried and tested and find players follow them. With you, you've never brought in someone that was your player per se, where you previously coached him, or a foreigner that, because you brought a Spanish technical team, but you've never ever brought a player. Was that something that crossed your mind?
Not really. No, I mean, I think what you mentioned is true. It used to be like that. But I think football right now is different in terms of our responsibilities as a coaches. I try to express myself better. The club is much bigger than myself, My club, Orlando Pirates, doesn't need me in that department. They don't need me in that department. Let's put it in that way. I'm just driving a club project. It's not Riveiro's project, obviously. So I'm just one piece of that project. There's much more around myself who is let me find the right word. I don't want to give you a sensationalist sentence. I think that I express myself good enough. I'm not here to bring Spanish players, to the table. I'm here to do something much more important than that. Plus the fact that we have an exceptional squad full of talent. There's nothing really that we need to look abroad. We have to concentrate in our own product, in our own players, in the players that we are producing, in our own development as well. Not only in our academy, in each and every academy in the country, and I think we are enough. But especially to answer your question is, I'm a coach. I'm not, it's not like a specific part of my job. I will not feel even more comfortable because I'm here with players from Spain, or it's not really one of my wishes, let's say.
Okay, we'll take the next question, Carabo.
Good afternoon, Coach. I think 3 of your regular centre-backs are out for the weekend. These are things out suspended. Toki's also out after the injury day, and the other one just forgot the name as well. I think the other centre-backs. Is that a bit of a headache for you going into this task against AmaZulu from home?
No, we have 7 centre-backs in the squad, so it's still alright. We're gonna play with 2. So we are more than okay. It's not gonna be a problem. We have solutions even if we need, so if we lose one of these ones that still available to play, it's not gonna be a problem for us. So we are preparing, again, with the intention to be our best version. Lucky or not lucky in the recent games, players like Tetua and Sane, they have also the opportunity to participate, so they are fit, they are ready, and the ones that are ready to play are going to help us to get the final objective.
Tabo?
Coach, I just want to pick your brain on something. You often speak about football being a scoring game, and I know he scored over the weekend, and just on the weekend, there's no secret how much of a fan favorite he is and how much of a talent he is. But just how important is it for him to add goals to his game in order just to take it to the next level?
Really, like every other forward in our team, in every other team, they are the ones that usually find themselves in the last stages of the attack. Sometimes you play the last pass, the second last, and the goal. It depends. It's up to everyone. How do you measure the performance of the player? For us, it's not only what happened in the last touch. It's also his contribution in the second last pass, in his capacity to entertain more than one player in each and every action, which is giving us, different types of advantage. With them, he can complete his performances with goals, with assists. We all celebrate, of course, but it's not the only reason or the only measurement for players like Riveiro. The influence in the game is going beyond that figures where we used to put our attention, our eyes. So everything is very welcome in that sense, obviously, but we are looking at him in different terms.
Thank you, Coach. And go to Robin Duke.
Coach, it's a known fact that when you look at the Paris squad, it might be on par with the level of Mamelodi Sundowns, but we haven't seen that in terms of translation to the league, in terms of putting up a fight. How much, how key is to retain this trophy? Because, as I said, there's been a lot of inconsistency when it comes to the league.
It's very important because it's the South African Cup, it's a Nedbank Cup, it's an important trophy. Every team who is participating in the competitions wants to be in the final game at least. And that's why it's very important for everyone involved in the club, players, personnel, coaching staff. We are all really focused in this tournament as well, and we will try again.
Thank you, Coach. Can we give our mic to Temba here?
Sports coach, I'm looking at you playing AmaZulu in KZN. Seems to be a good heavy hunting ground. Even in the MTN final, you came out tops against them, and somewhat they feel this could be a good time for them to strike a revenge. What does it mean for you going into a venue that has always yielded good results on your side? And is it something that you go into it subconsciously, that you're playing against a team that you've knocked out before and you can take them a trophy from them in a cup final?
I'm more thinking more about the 0-0 in the league. The 2 points that we didn't get there, and more than anything else, to be honest. It's true that Durban used to be a good space for us. Moses Villa is a really full stadium. We have beautiful memories, excellent memories about that place. We won our first trophy together there 1.5 years ago. We have the opportunity to repeat one more final and get another trophy in the same place. So obviously, it's always nice to be there. But again, the history continues for us. We want to find ourselves again in another final and to make it possible wherever we play the final. We don't care. But to make it possible, we need to play another beautiful game there. there, but we will be more happy with a good result.
Alright, next round of questions for Jabulo. We have another hand, okay. Then it will be Laurent.
You've spoken about trying to get to a point where the picture that people see from Pirates when they win and when they lose, there isn't much of a difference in terms of the outlook, what the team displays. How far is that process getting in terms of trying to get that consistent picture, and it isn't really a huge difference in terms of how the team performs when they win or lose? And you touched on that you don't look not at results, you look at the performance. What is making you to trust the process when obviously coaches live and die by results, regardless in terms of what the performance is in the season where results are a bit inconsistent?
I think we lost one game in 2024. If I'm not wrong. No, in 2024. I mean, the recent, I don't know how many, 7, 8, 9 games. We lost one. We played a fantastic game in Pretoria. We managed to get the derby. I think we lost against Sekhukhune one game. We were not in our best doing 30 minutes, but I think what happened in the rest of the last week is a clear example. We didn't get the result that we were looking for against Swallows. But maybe you remember my press conference after the match. What did I say? It was not a 1-1 performance. Not even close. Not even close. Then I think we played much better against Swallows than against Golden Arrows. How can you explain that? After a 1-1 and a 7-1. Well, you can do it. Because the focus from your side is usually in the results, and sometimes even, for the people who's watching football, not for us. So, to answer your question, we are not far, we are there. I mean, we are replicating performances. Then results are results. We wanted to analyze why we didn't win the game. We didn't win the game against Swallows. I told you the same after the press conference. It's your side. It's your part of the business, it's not mine. But we won that game. But for whatever reason, we couldn't put the second goal in the score. But the performance was there. Then we won against Arrow 7-1, and it looks that it was brilliant, it was more accurate, but it was the same. And it was the same against Chiefs. And it was the same in the previous games. We had a really bad 30 minutes in Polo 1 against Sekhukhune. It's going to dictate the moment where we are right now as a team. Not at all. Maybe for you guys, not for us. We can still talk about consistency until the end of our lives, but it's not the only thing to talk about it. Then if we see about the top, and we are competing against a point machine right now. One team that didn't lose one game in the last 40 something games, I don't know. Is that what you call not being consistent? I don't know how to explain this again and again.
Right, okay.
I understand, obviously, in terms of what you mean and where you're coming from, but
Okay.
there's also the points dropped against Dennis. Palogan is 6, for instance, in the first half of the season, also against Stellenbosch, the game against Cape Town, Supersport United. So those are part of the bigger picture in terms of how the team appears. That obviously there's the 2, and you're right in terms of the 2024, which you've done, but it's a 2023-24 season. So, and the fans of this team are quite demanding. So there's also, it comes from that context, not just in terms of just purely looking at numbers. They're managing the team, but not just about winning, and also how you win.
I explained it already last season as well. If you want to go to the past, we can go to the previous season also. We got 54 points. usually you win the title in South Africa with 60, right? Probably you know better than myself. Yes? So we got 54. But again, we are competing with a point machine. They don't lose.
That's a line.
You understand? I don't know where are we gonna finish this season. Probably we're gonna pass that number. I'm pretty sure that we can do it. We can be close. But again, and then you can analyze the reasons why. It's your part of the business again. We try, but it's difficult. It's very difficult to get close for many different reasons. It's very difficult to get close, but we get it there.
Happy, Jabu? Okay. Lawrence?
Okay, Coach.
Did you see the game yesterday?
Coach, is that from Jabu?
I was covering the national team.
They don't lose. It's difficult.
Oh, he was at Loftus, yeah. Banana. Okay, Lawrence?
Coach, just to follow up on what you were speaking about Mofokeng, obviously you've had a big role in him coming into the first team and doing really well. He's played in all competitions as a regular, but he's come through obviously the.
Is your mic on there, Lawrence?
He's come through the DDC. You have a history in youth coaching, and I'm not sure how much you take note of the DDC or anything, but how much influence did his participation in that league help him to be ready for first team, and has become like a role model for the other DDC kids that are trying to push to get into your first team as well?
I'm sure it is, and I know it is for the boys because it's nice to talk about giving opportunities to the young players, but I think that I spoke about it already. When we give the opportunity, it's not myself, it's me, it's the club, you know. When we give the opportunity, it's not just like an opportunity, it's trusting. We need to really trust that it's the right call, because it's easy to play young players 10 minutes. You are leading, and then you can be in the books, in the records, you know. And in the end, you can say that you're giving opportunities to the youngsters. But when Rele came to the team, came straight to the Star 11, he played against Royal AM 1 year ago, straight in the Star 11, 18, 19 minutes, because we consider that he was prepared. It's not only about talent. It's not going to be 100% ready, because there will never be a moment with a youngster that you say, it's now is 100%. There's no 100% in football, and even less with young players. So you have to accept also the mistakes or the lack of whatever with this type of profiles. But what he was doing since he started is proving that it was a good decision from the club to put our hopes in Rele, and day by day he's showing that it's a reality right now. And it's not going to be the last one, that's for sure. And it's an inspiration, I guess, for the other boys in the BBC, because we as a club, as a technical team, as a football players as well in the team, we are not going to be the obstacle for them in their progression. It's about them to want it, to really want it, and the platform to play is going to be there for them.
Tembo Shabadana, next.
Coach, if follow up on that, still on the young players, Coach, I just want to pick your brain on this. In your squad, you've got a Sesani, you've got a Lipasa, at Kaiser Chiefs, they've got a Mfundo Vilagazi, the three players, okay, the Bopela twins were there before you arrived, but the players that I'm talking about come from a township-based development, Doronkoff Student Foundation. I've picked up that you've taken Lipaso on loan, you've taken Sesani on loan, they come back. Just to pick your brains on the gap between the not so well structured developments and these ones, we can say maybe School of Excellence. Now that I'm looking at the comparison between Relay walking straight into the, if I may use that, walking straight into the first team, whereas a Lipasa, a Sesane had to go via a loan to come back into your team and sort of command the first team place. How much is the difference, the similarities between the three players that I've spoken about, including Fundo Villas at Kaizer Chiefs?
You mean the influence of their backgrounds
Yes,
in development?
development, yes.
It's difficult for me to elaborate an answer about that. I don't have enough knowledge about those environments to myself have a clear opinion about it. We're talking about, what I can tell you about the players that you mentioned is there's not so much difference in terms of the way they understand football, right? Not the way they execute is different because we're talking about different capacities and positions, but not in the way that they understand. I think the ones that you mentioned, they are all smart in terms of football understanding, and I guess it's coming from development and experiences, different ages as well. We're talking about 19 years old, Seix is 27, experiencing international tournaments. There's a lot of things already in Sakele's back to help him to be the player that he is right now. I think Rele, for example, is in a totally different stage. But in terms of understanding, there's similitudes. From where those similitudes are coming from, I cannot tell you because, like I said, my knowledge about that stage in their lives is too little.
Okay, I've noted your Robin. Let's go to the main.
Coach, in the South African national team, so Hugo Gross from Kenyan said Tembazwane wasn't needed for what he was building. And then later says, I made a mistake, he's very important to the cause. Sekofatsuma Basa spent 2 seasons out on loan. And now he's come back and obviously he's in the form that he's in. Some of the fans are calling him the best man in the league. With him, was it a case of you guys making a mistake, or was it he actually needing to go out on loan to go and get that confidence to then come back and be the striker that we see him at the moment?
How do we measure that?
Was the qualities that you had missed initially, or was there anything that changed? Because it's the same player who went out on loan, same player coming back and scoring for you.
Okay. I have to tell the truth. I mean, when I did arrive, Tejo was not with us. This is my first time with Tejo. We had 8 number 9s. First time I put my foot in the training ground for pilots, and Tejo was not one of them. The reasons I cannot really tell you, but probably are related with his performance for whatever reason, or because in that moment there were some other players performing better, or I don't really know. I cannot really answer that question because I didn't have that conversation with Sergio. Actually, I have a different one when he came back. So I don't really know if he was in a different space or he was asking for the loan because he wants to be more consistently on the field, and maybe at that time in Pirates was difficult for whatever reason. So I don't really know. What I know is that he's back. He's performing in a really good level. He's like I said many times already, he's helping us to play better, not only score goals. Again, going back to the result and performance, we are not looking at our striker only because he's scoring goals or not. Goals are very welcome, obviously, but there's much more things to do on the field before we score the goal. Hopefully he continue in the same space, in the same shape, because it's nice to see a player of his talent performing in this way, in this level. But the reasons why he couldn't make it before, it's a good question, but wrong person.
Okay, thank you. Robin Juk, I think that could be our last one.
Coach, at the start of the season, Zakele Pasha started very well. I think he scored 9 or 10 goals, but he hasn't scored since October. What are you doing to help him back to get the scoring fit? Does it also make it difficult for him now, to play that central role since Mabasa is doing well? And also, are you aware that Palace has never lost to AmaZulu? If that you are aware, does that help you in any way?
Yes, you are right. Zakele was scoring. He scored a hat-trick actually early in the season. He was in a really good space with a very high ratio of minutes played and goal. But we play with one striker, with one number 9, however you want to call it, and right now he was not in that space for a considerable amount of minutes. That's why he's not scoring in the games. He's training well, he's fighting, he's trying to understand what are we expecting from him and each and everyone in his position, and working to make it possible when he has the opportunity. I think I answered the first and the second. The third is about the Pirates record.
Yes, most of the time, Palace has never lost since the game was open.
Never,
Yeah.
ever.
Yes.
That's a good record, and I think we are part of that record already, and we will do everything in order to continue being part of that record after Saturday.
Okay, alright, I see a new hand here. Mishali. Robin Juk, you say they've never lost it against AmaZulu. I was about to, but anyway, yeah.
Good afternoon, Coach. Michael Barry from the Sky newspaper. Hey, Coach, concerning what Palace did last season, at this time of the season, for the team, for the South personnel, with all the changes that happened, how does this moment feel like? Does it feel like the first time that now we are driving towards winning the Nedbank Cup, finishing as high as we can on the road, or is it about maintaining whatever that the team did last season in this part of the stage?
How do I feel? Sorry,
Okay, maybe let's give him the mic again so he can.
Coach, what is it about now for the team, yourself, during this part of the season? Looking at how Pirates were now in the quarterfinals of the Nedbank Cup last season, they were chasing for that second spot again last season. During this moment now, is it about consolidating whatever that you did last season, or it feels like a new marathon altogether that now you need to do it for yourself, for the club, and everyone else?
it seems that we are replicating, we are in that process of trying to replicate thing that we did 1 year ago in terms of results, right? So if we could manage to go to the semi-final and then go to the final and then be the better team in that final and finish the season in the second spot. In terms of results, it's gonna look that we are in the same place. But in terms of process, we are not even close to be in the same space.
Okay,
So that's how I feel. I feel that there's being a permanent evolution in the team, progression in the team, and still a long way to go. Still, very tough games to play, to manage to replicate the first season, which was in terms of results was a successful season. But if you ask me about performance, the team is right now much better than 1 year ago, no matter what happened from now until the end of the season in terms of results.
Okay, Vedila, you still have your hand up, or you covered? Okay, let's give José some chance, because he wasn't. That will be the last one, Coach.
Okay.
Hello, Coach. I want to take you a bit back, based on the point that was raised by my colleague, Darlene, on whether you've considered being in players that you've worked with before, or Spanish players to be specific. And based on your response, based on your response that it's a Pirates project and not a Riveiro project. So
no.
Could that be you saying that
no, I'm part of the project?
Okay,
no, because it sounds that you will say that it's not my project.
Yes.
No.
Okay, based on your response, Coach, could that be you saying that you don't really have much of a say on the signings or the incomings and outgoings at the club?
No. No, you didn't understand the answer at all. No, I said that the project is much bigger than that. There's no what's the word? It's like improvisation. Is the word improvise? That's improvise. Coach is coming and said, no, I think that what you need is this guy that I know from Spain is a good boy, left foot. We are not there, man. We are not there. We are not improvising. The club knows where they want to go. We know where we want to go, and part of that, that's what I tried to say before, that Orlando Pirates is not waiting for me to say, no, this is what you need, I can do it for you. No. We are far, far, far from that place. That's what I tried to say before. Sorry if I couldn't express myself better.
Maybe the word is compromise, Coach, not improvise.
I think it's in Spanish. My friend speaks Spanish.
Data depleted.
It's like something that was not planned before. You understand what I mean? Like you react, improvisation. Like
That's the right way.
Yeah, that's the right way.
Yeah. No, there's no space for that. Not at all.
Are you covered, Siasan?
No.
Or you
He wants the headline.
You want to
Coach, he wants you to say you don't sell players.
And you paralyzed them, Coach. Eh?
I have my role there as well, but
you are part of the project.
absolutely.
And I think what you were also trying to say was that you wouldn't, for selfish reason, want to bring players just for your own benefit.
Exactly. I'm trying to say that the club is bigger than whoever is sitting here. Not that I'm not part of the project, not at all. I'm fully inside.
Okay, thank you, colleagues. We'll end this session here, and hopefully the next team is here.